this week's episode, and I have a shit box. Yeah, I know the opening was a little over the top for what it is because, yeah, it's a pile of junk, but it's all going to make sense in the near future. But here I have a Nissan 240XX that I picked up for $1,000. This is what a $1,000 shell looks like nowadays in this market. There's a lot of stuff missing, but it is a rolling shell, so it's a lot of I mean, the big stuff is a motor, trans, drivetrain, all that, but it's got the rear end, the front end, suspension, all of that stuff. Even though we're going to be going through most of it, and there's a lot of stuff that I'm going to go over in these videos, but in today's episode, we're going to be focusing just on the rear and front end. I'm dropping this. I'm trying to get this all pulled apart because I'm going to be doing some body work, some fabrication work, and some other things to it. But the first thing I need to do is get everything, all this other remaining stuff out of here, get rid of the stuff that they decided just to cut and tear off. So, we're going to need another throttle cable. Neat. Brake line over here. Yeah, they just cut it. Don't know why. But it's not the worst I've seen. Let that be known. This is actually a pretty good 240 shell compared to about 80% of them that I have seen. So before we get into tearing stuff apart and taking a look at everything underneath the car, I've already kind of went through it, so I kind of know what I need to replace and whatnot already, but I want to get it fully dropped, disassembled, cleaned up, pull all the old stuff out. We're doing a 5-lug conversion, so we're going to get rid of all the hubs and all that stuff too. But before I get into that, t-shirts are on sale until January, so make sure you go get yours. It supports the channel, supports everything that I have planned to do. So go pick one up. And I'm only selling this particular design until January. And the next thing, I just want to do a quick walkthrough from tip to butt on the car, show you guys exactly what we got, what we're working with here, kind of what the plan is, and then move on to the actual video. All right, we got no motor, no trans, no front end. I have an idea of what I'm going to do with everything here, but you guys comment below of anything you want to see, but I have my own ideas. This is the interior. A lot of work to be done in here. I'm actually going to be moving a lot of the wiring harness, the body harness inside the car. I'm going to tuck all the wiring as out of sight as I possibly can. I want no wire showing. That's what I'm showing in this clip right here is the wire harness for all of that. I'm moving it. And then the back here, we have a lot of metal work to do. I'm going to fill these holes. There's some body damage, body work to be done too, so that's going to take a lot of the time. So a lot of videos you're going to see is body work for right now. It won't be body work forever, I promise. I'm not a fan of body work, but this is my car now, and I do want to make it look somewhat presentable. Anyways, we're moving on now to the video here. I'm just kind of screwing around. I'm having a stroke or something. I don't remember this. What the hell? Anyways, so I'm just showing you guys the bolts to drop the subframe. Now, if your car was more complete, it wouldn't be this easy. But for me, it's just these 4 bolts on the corners here that I'm shining my light at and trying to get a good. There we go. And then I show the last one, and then for me, it was just one nut on each strut at the top there, so it's missing some stuff. But I show that here in a second too for you, so it's pretty simple. And then I just put a jack underneath my differential and lowered it, and it came out pretty good. I'll show you the clip right here of what my struggle. Grab these outside bolts first so I don't die, for one. Getting it in is gonna suck, actually. I'm afraid that if I take this bolt off, there's a lot of tension on it. This is just gonna fall right through. Fuck it. Fucking, there's only one way to live life. And that's however you feel like. Oh, good thing I'm fucking strong. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude, I'm fucking swole as fuck. God, good. Good, she's out. Right on. Alrighty, so this is just me taking this all apart. All the suspension arms are coming out. We're going to be replacing them with aftermarket adjustable arms. The CV axle's got to be replaced. They're both bad. And I'm going to be doing a big brake kit in the rear by big brake. I mean budget big brake. So we're going to be doing the Z32s in the rears and a CTSV brake kit up front, which I'll be doing videos way later on. But yep, that's done. Oh, unfortunately, my microphone doesn't work at all if it's not 2 inches away from my face. And I have the brain of a squirrel, so if I'm trying to talk and do something at the same time, it's nearly impossible for me. Anyways, I'm kind of spouting BS about taking this break off. I talk about that the goal with this, like disassembling all of this, is because we're going to be switching the whole setup anyways, which I briefly just explained, but we're going to do a dual caliper setup, Z32 brakes and rotors, and if I want to keep my stock handbrake, I have to change out the cables. But if I'm doing a dual caliper setup, I might build my own design in my hydro to lock it in place, so I can keep that in. I typically leave my car, if it's a manual, I leave it in gear anyways. If I park it, I never trust parking brakes, but that's just me, and that's just kind of what I talk about here in very, 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 very long segments. So I'm trying to just keep it short, but I have a really hard time of doing that still. Well, I'm excited. I'm excited to look inside this. Now, not that anything's wrong with this particular method, but they unnecessarily welded more than what they needed to weld. Down here, so if you're not putting like a plate in, there's really no need. You could just do the corners and you'll be fine. That's all you need to do. Again, nothing's wrong with this, but I don't know. I've just never seen it that way, so I'm a little concerned, because there's only been 2 ways I've ever seen and welded a diff myself. But anyways, that's what I wanted to inspect. So now what I'm gonna do, now I'm gonna get the front taken down for you guys, and we'll briefly go over that. All right, and once again, it's just 4 bolts on the bottom. Again, if your car is more complete, it's not gonna be this simple, but in my case, it is, because it's a pile of junk and there's nothing in it. So it's a great start if you want to do like a full build. Financially, I can't say anything, but hey, you know what? We'll figure it out as we go. But yep, just those, and then the steering rack. Now I marked both the rack and pinion and the spline to the actual steering wheel. I kind of mark the orientation, that way I don't get confused when I put it back on. I can get it straight again. I might have to make some adjustments, but it is marked, so that's a good thing to do. And then your struts, the 6 bolts up top, and then it's out. All right, so very much different from the rear to the front. A lot less that needs to be taken off here. And the Raceland coilovers, we're definitely gonna fucking get rid of them. And so what I'm gonna be taking off here is the coilovers. I'm gonna remove this, because I am gonna get another tie rod. The bushing on this is same with that one. They're both blown. I mean, it's a 240. I expected it, to be honest. So we're gonna replace those. We're gonna replace the lower ball joints as well. This one's really bad. That one, I can't really tell. I'll probably be able to wiggle it more. But this one, yeah, they're not doing so well. Easy, done. Trash. One thing I am excited about is this car did come with a G-Tech angle kit. It's a very cheap kit, and all it is instead of having to modify these knuckles, because another way of doing it is taking the knuckle and welding a piece to it to extend it. This is pretty much an adapter that does that, so you don't have to. It's just nut and bolts. You don't have to do any math, measuring, any sort of fabrication. It's pretty convenient. Now, I was going to modify the knuckles, but knowing that these are on there, and I don't have to, so that saves me actually quite a bit of work, to be honest. Now, I got to clean all this up, obviously, but it's getting late, and I want to just bust through this, so I'm going to end the video here. This is all I'm doing with this tonight. I'm going to clean everything up, start ordering parts, and seeing what I can do as far as kind of want to beef up the rear end, maybe do a different differential. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what the plan is. But the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to spend the rest of the night cleaning all this stuff up. I'm going to power wash this, degrease it, and get everything super clean. It'll be a while before I put all this back in. And so with that, please like and please share this video with your friends if you have friends that want to see builds and stuff like that, and then eventually this thing on the track. That really helps me out a lot when you share these videos. And in the next episode, we're going to get started on the outside wiring and all the inside of the engine bay and everything like that, getting it prepped up for paint and rewiring stuff different ways, so it's not going to show. And I will see you guys all in the next video. Until then, do something kind for somebody tomorrow and have a great rest of the day. Okay, bye-bye.